Good afternoon, everybody. ¿Cuánto? Clase a 1:14. Mamangi class continuation ni ko kasi na. Ito. Pero na mamanga tay ko.
Tay siya.
Audible ba na true? Voice eh. Anyway, ito yung kung pera sa mamanga sentence kamay arrange to ko dagi habiti pera si paragraph ang piraming kasi paragraph si kamay arrange to ko dagi hay matang ni ko. Ida si somebody said pera jumble war against it. Sentence rearrangement. See, madang the names. So the very first thing, we should know how to reset or how to arrange the sentences given. Yung kamay na hita hawudagi having matang si amda how to solve it. So pera na na piba magi ka sentence A B C D E na piram ba nag hena sang na piram ba su yai ko amad to to na scan to habdi scan or read thoroughly scan or read the sentence thoroughly. Paro, adu matong tarakda. Nice team. Ako ni pero ni bo. Class ni bo. Excuse me. Now please maintain a distance in the class. I don't see you. Yeah. Class ni haraga. Mic to off toro tham mic to no wangan ni ga mic to off toro aduga to pami ga wari kuine sanage su yare kasu kai beleti ko to budu we need to maintain a very good discipline. There should be or there ought to be what do you call decorum of the classroom. Decorum legedam ni ko adam badugi photo leta ta ga di class se continue tok da bayai ai badi kanoda no disturbance tok ta ga di kana dre ko aizu matam kai thog lakpani adana yari makai di mic to off toro wari sananing mamina natraga di class ta yam thina kai ko recognize the theme of the passage to give my team do khang no no ai bani atop third person sing the disturb to dan mono ko nga am ta nate mature ba ngata ni duna scan or read the sentences thoroughly munna pabiro passage pa bai mum tam sida thagi sentence sida obviously A haigara B haigara C haigara D haigara E haigara 1 2 3 4 5 or 6. Sometimes question taruk hangba yawi, manga dang hangba yawi, adudi question setter makha pole ko. Smile re, adana munna paro sentence to. Munna para kanda sentence ki kari da magi say kari no ma hiding is have to at least reading the sentences between the lines. You'll certainly realize, you certainly sensitize over the crux or the theme, or I would say the central idea. Kredi khangani parakanda mana policy padragadi madu nangi word command later ba reading skill later ka du yaro ko haibadi word command haibadi pari poto karino de khang da targadi blind shot to bu yaro assumption to bu yaro aduma khanga dabni adu gamuk sigi parakam paramatung da theme je khang honor theme je any theme my economy the base or yai nadraga internal affairs the foreign affairs the any sort of issue the then say another thing, look for cause and effect. Cause and effect relation. Cause and effect relations is kayinga the gebu marina kram keyword kar thiro. Keyword sa tum yarong ani. Say marina maram maduna ibugumba therefore ko then say does ibugumba then say hence ibugumba accordingly ibugumba then however ibugumba some magi sentence hamada cause effect habadi magi maram mama palam maram digi ma result am la mani madu gi pattern do da khatang khone word to yeng mutare ko kari haning ino do sima si keyword sin se yeng darga legani habadi sidisi da marina conjunction yam job role of conjunction si sentence amaga amaga taishan amaze conjunction the base the way kange ko adana conjunction do phajama matana khangmo thok da gani mana policy sentence sama kasu mana na moy aduga number 5 ta coherence habidi kaino stick to budoni coherence of sequence should be met as per the theme di matunga ni yenga phuna sequencing ga dabani sida aina haning makhraga lei sentence si kaidongoi da article da na sentence beginning sentence article da na hobu shya ro adu matang du mas harake sentence ma hoba si article a na hobu n na hobu article da na di definite articles in a D. Say for example, article A or article N introduce a sentence. Sentence ma sequence ma tung ile ko matam puna bakte nate. Sikhang adamni ko article A or article N introduces the sentence. The beginning of a sentence I mean. The beginning of sentence. Sentence ma ki mai hobu se sina hobu ya hai bani haning is. Another thing, put a hashtag right there here. Article the articles na cannot start or begin the passage where ko article dana passage where sentence ki hobani hangde sentence oblique passage or para whatever matana khoina pa do si kano matanda sida yam chaw role se khoi gi word command vocabulary sound de budi yaro ko word command lai to mi do adu exam house ngamoy ko ai sima haige word command phase legidabani the same time reading skill mamang high gare editorial page pava kana gani ko then say some koigi magazines kumba khara toida pava novels pava reading habit level kangbu sing dudi thunong yam lu bana te si concept ma adana smai to si sida pi di in concept sa tem tanate passage am pier me passage si A B C D E F na sareng khana sin draga se sequence sentence taruk na same hai sentence taruk se zigzag se piram doni ari sequence na idana mata sequence same se kanam tamda beginning of the sentence kain how the gave the a article a na n gun hawali or article does the sentence passage how we at the end hai sida then pyramid of sentences sing si umutana pasana paro scan toro umutana paro par matang da passage ki theme do khang na honarasi adu matang da mai ki cause and effects ya adi kai ki theme ma de iribina theme di matang da maram amju iramani maram digi iriba maram dugi cause gi mai effects yarangani adu mai keyword sing maroina adu matam da sina da keyword khara ire sida therefore does hence accordingly however whatever there are so many and we should know the role of conjunctions as well conjunction is a sentence amaga sentence ta shina base conjunction ta shina yeba yare ko sida yam koi grammar gi ba technicalities of grammar functional grammar gi botin mak natti mam di kano da iram de potu chummi lali na koina evaluate to gadab sunatti check to gadab sunatti ba adana irib sentence to how far the sentences are interconnected or relevant to each other adu yeng doini simini smai to dana nagi sigi passage si once jaga am da laleng khala si jaga dum matang lan doini adana pa ba dem sensitively pa ba ta ba ko adana kha to in preparation tor kan da di practice na joy doini ko sini ado jik I screen share tor ke ko screen share tor kan da my practice real practice to si ko se jik sentence rearrangement ure ko se urabo can you hear me
Segure.
I urge everyone to pay attention and do not disturb during the class because the class is meant for you and me. And moreover, there should be a proper, or systematic discipline amongst us. If there's no discipline, the class should be, say, canceled right away. I don't mind at all because I want you to pay attention and I want you to, focus on the concern. Now, what concerns us here is to focus on what the question we're about to solve them. Yare ko adana siyo sentence rearrangement is the question yang kai pire sida pa bagi niyom da di ta seng bagi di kana ko na hangbe paru si kamai na pa gani reading si kana ko reading speed am thubulai adi yam tap mi su lei adi pa ba da gyan ta da su lei kari hai no khang da su lei niyom matung ya di pa ba di punctuation sense punctuation khuding lepo hai bani ko ai samaksu koigi sigi hadi kasai sigi field da I be reading this field da ai samu PhD lo shele ko PhD lo shele matang da post doctoral fellowship su lo shele ko aduna like pa ba si di ai samu ki di passion ni aduna pa ba se na pa ba matam da koigi literal meaning have the man da phumi be pot se kari no je khang na wana gai tar ga di tan my word in my word ki reflection ko implication as well as explication ai ma khang na pa ga ne yung sile abc d e ni pi ko pi ri ba sentence manga se solve to je ko yung now you can let's solve together yung during his long political career he has built good relationship with a number of Indian political leaders. During his stints as Home Minister and later as Foreign Minister, he enjoyed a reputation of being both decisive and pragmatic. In ideological terms, he has moved far from his early days as an excellent leader during the 1970s when he was in prison for nearly 14 years. Following the advent of multi-party democracy in Nepal in 1990, he emerged as one of the young leaders of the Communist Party of Nepal, Unified Marxist-Leninists. And Mr. Oli is no stranger to India. Sigi kanai matang da hai no sidi. Iri matang si kana bono. Kanagi political career no. Kana misna Indian political leaders in Siga had a good relationship. Tame hari bano. Kana home minister wasna. Kana no foreign minister conoration. He na palisi kana no. Mi makatangi matang da hai bane. Adi am line as it solved the wiyagan in Kali. Adana Prekhada hangum tanda first sentence kari second sentence kari specifically you kind of pinpoint tawdra ko su ako gidi sentence so sequence sem tokpa make saying na kari da hari bige do yan tai ko adwai to na sida si next slide leader masima yam ngana during 1970s ki matamda present matamda ma se koi da ni gana hai sida all about thing the whole thing is all about a one person it's Mr. Oli ki matang hai bo ngani natro gyan tare bro I think sai ai min to ni po si gyan ta bra ba
Tare, sir.
Yes, sir.
adana sai ki hiding ibu concept ti mi amagi matang da ni hai ba si khange kana gi matang da ado sida it's like a piece of historical writing machina mani ko adana sida anyway adu ta sentence when sentence kram sentence na hobo yai kram sentence na hobo yai first sentence kari be yai adi question sentence manga do madu sequence sem to over 1 2 3 4 5 na first sentence e na honi chumni ko sida wa mai ge koina ngasai si e na hogani se ka gina ta kamaina khoni confirm torino sentence paro matam de e de gina e bu pa matam da kana gi matang ni ibnu hai bi ma khange adigi muk during his political career wari ni sida kana gi his ektama gi maha ki political career gi manung da hai dana mi gi his hai basic kano ngasai gi mamang na pani mi amagi magi possessive case ni possessive pronoun ni hai possessive pronoun se asin ne ta direct hobdi yaroi you should mention somebody else but mamang na hana pan gadam ne adana during his long political career or during his stints as home minister this is like third person sagi mahut chiliba mi dugi magi pronoun in terms of subject on sin of he as somebody is talking kari gino makon thoi dubu ngangi dubu yengo se sida han bada si e sina sentence hongni haire yare e gi matung tarak pada second sentence kari bi ai first sentence to e na hongni yare ko second sentence kari na hogdoi no
Is in a water, sir.
ha
Is in during his long political career was
adu na hogudabani man magi political career na hogdana home minister the home minister oramba the foreign minister oramba na b na hogdi yaro therefore let's say a should be the second sentence and the third sentence so far E first sentence is gone, third sentence A is gone, and third sentence is also C. C is correct. Now we have two more sentences left. Fourth
D.
sentence, can you be?
D next to B.
That should be D delta, that's correct. And the last sentence should be B. Here you go. Now, somehow we have solved this this historical piece of writing, and let's proceed on the next question. Well, you can see today whenever an incident such as Rohit Ibemhal suicide occupies center stage, politicians vociferously claim that they are committed to eliminating caste-based prejudice. Calling for a new act will not solve the problem. Policymakers first need to show some integrity in their actions, but at the same time, they politicize the issue and use the issue to criticize their opponents. This sets a dangerous precedent. We can't eliminate caste-based prejudice until we depoliticize caste. While the value of eliminating identity-based prejudice is upheld in speeches by politicians, actions don't reflect these values. They also continue to give in to the agitations of different castes across India, demanding reservation without analyzing the socio-economic implications. Now, this is all about what? Kanagi matang na hayo se. Suicide no nama Rohit Ibemhal haba magi suicide no to the center stage over there. So the politicians sing na kari haiba. Moi pame se kana caste based prejudice thambase mase eliminate tawgadabani habigi. Kana hai adri mana caste based prejudice se kana mase eliminate tawbungam and unless mase depoliticize tawdringai de mase ngam de na hai. Mase is yam chawa dangerous precedent have the mamang the thokpa tubani do yam sachi po na mo oire na hai. Tasing magidi when I focus to do pot se kana matamda. This is the caste-based prejudice. Masi nam job issue mo ore. Then masigi prejudice have the kano. Me tasena me dugi information later na ko na hana prior information prior lana kanba to have wrong conception or to have a ill conception or bad conception so called or misinterpretation of a person without his or her knowledge. Midugi matang the kangdana karisu kangdana ko na hanan lana uriba miyeng do madu kari kawi, that is so called prejudice happening. Amay to na masida kena hoigi identity based prejudice se masi eliminate tawbung ngadra masi tawbung amna kana masi tawgudabani habasidi mo keno ni policy makers na hai mo na kamay pa na ngangi pot sing do madu taseng namak adi thabak ta action da reflect tawbra tawi tawde haibasu khona khang darga legane sida khona si amag haige conjunction this da but haibam hai but as the contradictory ba koi contradiction da sin pona mani adana kaidunga da sentence da koi contradictory over mong gi send koi gi conjunction sin samna the but kumba however kumba masina sentence hobi share di adana. Now we have to be very careful how to start with this sentence. You should know what sentence should start. And technically, you should be very aware of how should we arrange because there are 6 sentences altogether. So let's find out which sentence should start.
Number E.
Number E, you are right. E is the only way that we can start off a sentence beginning with E. Amuk khalase E na hauta ka di lem hori basing se kada da kamai sentence ge. While the value of eliminating identity based prejudice must eliminate must give value si must kedoba eliminate to gadabani have value sida must kana kani ge hai is of hell in speeches in speeches and these politicians, what do? They bluff people. Me the bluff the way. Vote pananaba. They make people fool by their speeches, by their what do you call that? Exaggerations or hyperbole. sort of expressions. But these things don't really reflect in their actions. Reflect. Anyway, let's accept E to be the first sentence, and after starting with E, let's think about other options that should be interconnected, one after another.
Whenever an incident such as Rohit Verma to number A is it?
You're right. Second sentence should be A. You are doing very well. And let's look for the next sentence, which should, coherently stick to the second sentence.
Number C, but at the
Okay.
same time.
Yeah, but at the same time, they politicize the issue and use the issue to criticize their opponent. Yam hayrani ko moje politician aduna basina kaidawi mo at the same time na issue je politicize tore public ta kaida ngange aduga makoi opponent sin chu muksu basi issue sinaraga moi opponent sin chu muksu moina muk mayamang da phattaba tahalle sine ba haji ko aduna je first sentence kare second sentence su yare the third khata ngaire sorry third how gre fourth fifth sixth khata ngaire
Fourth say F lani.
chume
Aduga fifth na number D, last na B.
Okay, I think all are correct. No chume ko sida sige sequence ng same sequence no chume du talaga di makata na sa terasi ko question number 15 11 to 15 yung 11 to 15 jida kari hai meaningful discussions and debates have become a thing of the past. Meaningful discussions, debates have become a thing of the past. In some instances, ordinances are issued. It's a matter of grave concern. I'm serious of concern. That successive parliamentary sessions have turned out to be slugfest. What's the meaning of slugfest? Centered parliamentary session between the government and opposition on inconsequential issues. The inconsequential issues. The issues my consequence my result to tabam result tadaba ada yamna masagi mokoi gi marakta karino mo haninge mokoi gi marakta haibadi karma sense no kamgrosibo. What's the meaning of slugfest?
This tadri.
Sidi kenoni koigi yam kanna chinda adi marna say it's a kind of fish market at the parliament, or say how the politicians verbally fight, or a verbal abuse amongst them. Moi marak to chainaba launaba PM the chaiba aduna du chaiba adigi moi tonari sine adu maduk slugfest to buko slugfest have the verbally heated fight happening or heated argument happening ko sini skumba ma'am tawre. It's always a game of one-upmanship. Disruptions take place for days together. At the end of the session, disruption ma'am thoy hadid ayat pa say na ma'am thoy marak sida. At the end of the session some bills are passed hurriedly without any substantial discussion under certain compulsion or under certain circumstances. Hopefully, this budget session will be different, and parliamentarians will conduct themselves in a manner expected of them. Even before the parliament session commences, the direction in which it is headed becomes obvious. Scenario. And so that she man inside the company, team to come to the team second parliament the kamana adi among the my debates at hey among the moisi discussion tawi kanana hunne. It's just like a very heated argument or verbal abuse amongst them, and but see mana hopefully masigi budget sidi different oigani the parliamentary singna koina yam phajaba mongda manner amada koidi expect to manner amada kana tawgani hadi conduct tawgani gan haibigi matang ama mana optimistic oba koigi view mathame hadi even before the parliament session commences parliament session ji masi haudri mang phawda the direction in which it is headed becomes direction the direction je masi jam make singi haiba adri sidi masida koina samlap koina u paaba matamda thenglesi kananda parliament ke wa ngatane parliament kari kari tawi kanana hunni kanana ngangi moreover moi masensi amaga adi kamai kam mona bill pass tawi ha moi si kaino adi ngasai gi yam kana moi discussion tawnaraga su adum lotion daba aduga at the end of the session da ngasai gi bill du hurriedly yam thuna pass tokhiba ha koigi se cape ki citizenship amendment bill kamai bill mai pass tawgi khange ko adu mayam legre adu ni ko si mu solve tower si atopa singsu I think ngasai say a very less number of students are proactively involving discussion, and I want others not to remain silent spectators or silent listeners, rather than they should focus more on the proactive session that will be certainly vibrant and the full of synergy. Wadu laigane inkali ko paro to solve toro.
C is the first sentence.
Okay.
The second sentence A.
Okay, that's correct.
Third F.
Third is F. Okay, that's correct again.
Fourth number D.
Yes.
Fifth B. Aduga last na E.
The last sentence should be you're right. And then you're doing very well. Atopa singji kay gano aying big ngasi demta khumje ka dore. Is everything okay? Yun sa ko puso loy gre. Kay dawrage. No, I mean, it's not that audible. I can't hear you properly. Will you say something louder? Network yada berang di make sing di. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't hear you properly. Anyway, network nungai tabi hangde make sing taba pangde ko adana. Okay. Anyway, now let's read together one more. Say 2020 book solve tausi. Ado I think asai gi kitang leidana. I think class man ba the class kitang mayam sunu bag involved taraga de nungai dana. Ado one da. Anyway, music next sentence na yango sumai haire. One of the reasons for declining oil prices is the advance made over the last few years with respect to oil production, especially in the US. Oil price masi oil thao gi mamal si kaino masi decline torop gi maram si mana sida may khara haire oil production si kaino with respect to oil production, especially in the US. And today many fear that the world economy is on the edge of another recession. That is some kind of panic. This has adversely affected a number of emerging economies, which are suppliers of commodities or are closely linked to the Chinese production networks. The world economy is so hard to predict. In 2008, as the global financial markets plunged into a crisis, high oil prices were considered to be one of the factors that caused it. And then what happened? China's economy is projected to grow at 6.3% in 2006 its lowest growth in 25 years. A slowing China has far less appetite for oil and other commodities. USA and China can have a Then F, guess what is high up there on the list of its contributing reasons? Low oil prices, or the price of crude oil remained mostly above $100 per barrel for almost 3 years from 2011 onwards, but declined sharply during the second half of 2014, settling at around $50 per barrel for a good part of 2015. Magi ngasai sequence to hire kamai hengala 2014 na kai leramba 2000 then 2015 na kay among lak ba khot mayam si hire. Then again the recent lifting of sanctions against Iran has eased the supply situation even further, but the falling oil prices are also a reflection of the stagnation in worldwide demand, and this is what has made the stock markets panicky. Panic is something, apprehensive. When you go through the passage, it's all about oil prices, and say masida China ki rule na karino, US rule na karino, and then sida world economy si kari ki da mukta man kinnersi another recession na matholok pa yai, and the edge of another recession might occur or might happen. Why people have this kind of fear, or why people do have this kind of apprehension? Kari da mukta lay no. Then China's economy si 2016 da 6.3 da lay hare. Aduga the mass 25 years the quite the 10 bani hare. China has far less appetite for oil and other commodities. This we need to think about it. Here I go. My world economy city when predict 2008 the global financial markets crisis to my whole high oil prices so but financial market see crisis topagi maram mayam sing market factor man oiki or high oil prices were considered to be one of the factors. Yeah, go the similar. I think Iran population Iran's supply situation henna ease to henna phale kam sense no adu mayam do khalla kanda sequence same doing yeah record and hangibu question di hangisi question sumne ki manga khatani and first ne third ne and then say fourth ne and then sixth ne and last ne ko adu marak to kon same tare ko adu sequence ko same.
First sentences are D or D
in a hold from the world economy they hold 20. Yeah, record D should be the first sentence, okay, and second sentence
G.
Now let's think once again. Begitu na the first sentence D na hawla si yare ko D hawra da second sentence ako na project to ni ko adi second sentence kay B ay
B
gani. Today many fear that the world economy is on the edge of another recession. That should be the second sentence. And third sentence see how second sentence B world economy see another recession thokpa yai habigi akiba mi man pawi lay hare adu matung tak the third sentence can be ai
number F say.
That's correct. That should be the third sentence. And we have another third sentence gone after easing first, second, and third. Fourth sentence can be to
number A to udi udre mathak.
Yes, one of the reasons oil prices decline that should be definitely the fourth sentence. And fifth sentence, fifth, sixth, and last
Fifth is the recent lifting tawbase.
yes, fifth should be G. Okay.
Sixth China's economy tawbase.
Sina E oirani ko. Last sentence na C oirani. Yare ko. Sumaito tana sigi sequence masi say as per my observation yam na kahena lubadi oidabra na khali adu like pab ai ngasai mamang su haidi haigere ko haigere haibadi reading habit later this is the exam ni betul saladi adum land ningai laite se amamuk tausi more than omissions the inclusions are glaring glare to by this how the glare to go or atopa sense amadana glare has kind of the glare habisi atopa sense amadana say ngan bu sai adaga atopa sense amadana muk sound yeng bu sai meaning ani name leise amayam siengna shining toba awai shining toba madu glare hai atopa sense amadana muk shauraga yeng base to look angrily happening to look angrily or to say to see someone else angrily happening ko aduna modern omissions the inclusions are glaring regimes change but not their mindset the regime change started to mokoi mindset to film stars and sports persons have their own awards and rewards why include them in the Republic Day awards haiba ma inong nong na chita wakhalan ma haidi film stars and sports person mokoi award lejai rewards mokoi lejai adu mokoi si Republic Day the award pibagi include tawagi maram sina kaino na hai right thinking persons and senior citizens would have been disappointed by the lack of recognition for Savitri Baiti, founder of the care home for the elderly, then Bisanti, a pioneer in social service in Tamil Nadu in the Republic Day honors this year. It is high time that someone with an all India perspective oversees the selection. Matam chap chai masi kanaguma man akoi all India perspective ta leiba mi kangbu kharana kasai selection si masi phazan tawudabani haibagi amasu sini adudi sini nga sai ding khoi nga sai nainer mayam daga muk kitang muk khenaba u phange ado yes sida A B C D E sentence manga khatani daga hangbasu dum sentence manga dum hangjarame ado mana karino ma haning is film stars and sports persons in mokoi award piba kupa mayam lagi moiji why should we include them in the Republic Day awards have a question amju hange regime cam change over different regimes went by or you can say pass over but not their mindset mindset change to be more than omissions the inclusions are glaring omission to give omission nadi bani omission nagi hendoktana inclusion inclusion is something which is included but sida yamna karma sense sounding haira make saying haira something which stands out haira adu yengo and then the right thinking persons senior citizens would have been disappointed asagi sigi right thinking persons sing senior citizens sing simose disappoint orangani but the lack of recognition Savitri Baiti is my recognition pangra pangdabra ha aduna hairiba koigi care home the labor han oiba singi bisranthi hairiba masi hai bisranthi se kaino social service ta Tamil Nadu mo je pioneer ni hai masi ki founder of Savitri Baiti se masi recognition pangbra pangdabra adu su khallo phangi haira phangde haira sentence my min to repoto di su khallo Jenita haro aing bi Angela kamu timin lagi kayak gini bahas manjilat haro
First sentence sir email
first sentence first sentence na hawragadi yararoi
D oigadra sir.
di oigani atop I mean I want others to delve into this evaluation other than Jensen. I think he has been performing pretty well enough. I want others to na hawbadadi matam chap chare na hawdok hai gitaragadi sense to amarom sakraneva matam chap chare na haw hai karino matam chap chare haise haibam zulani aduninda aduduna kona haigadabani bai loopholes mayam su hairamo adudi loopholes hana haidadi yadedana first sentence d na hogani haijum chumme atopa sinji hairo
C oigadra.
second sentence C oiba yaroi aing bero Janita Angela class malanjiko class man I did class too I never did buko I don't want to take say further classes if the class is some kind of boredom some kind of I never budo exasperating personally I mean I want class to be colorful in a sense that it should be I mean it should be more conducive to you personally to you as a whole no the kind of phang the class to kai ni adi class ne na sum adi offline ju natte online ni adu khara khumna de kamai tawni ngang ba ju wa ga jani ko
sir A jo oigadra
as we start with the yes we doing ako sida ahan bada kari hai first sentence na d je hai gare d matung tak bada second sentence se we be adi regime change but not their mindset regime change regime de mayama government mayam sakre mayam ho gare adu makoi mindset as it is kenta hongdi shini adana second sentence should be b the and third sentence should be e fourth sentence should be a and the last sentence should be c neighbor mai la ka da ene go sigi kano si habidi sentence arrangement je kitang adi yam tuba su yawi aduga tappe ko adi yam toina tawdabagi so yam toina practice tawdabagi asoiba malen lowe di ado
Sir C matungda A lakpa yadab.
sigi matungda
Hoi.
sigi matungda a lakpa C no A adu phajade hasi chana appropriate oidaba haibam lei ko aduna ahamda a la lo 4 or lo 5 to na C o lo ene ko che just to change a little bit se si ma change to si I think sigi kano sima arrangement sima I think si thupsala jaba na te sima atop mu yeng si ko haibadi koina yengo
Sir, question namta hangge.
haro
ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯄꯦꯔꯥꯆꯝꯄꯜ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯈꯔ ꯇꯦꯟꯕꯗꯧꯅ ꯇꯧꯋꯤꯗꯅ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯃꯣꯛ ꯇꯦꯁꯀꯨꯝꯕ ꯊꯥꯕꯗꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯁꯥꯡꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯥꯡꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯛꯑꯦꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯥꯡ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯔ ꯇꯦꯟꯕ ꯇꯥꯏꯞꯇ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯥꯡꯉꯛꯑꯒꯅ ꯀꯣꯛꯁꯦ ꯉꯥꯎꯔꯛꯄꯁꯨ ꯇꯧꯋꯦꯕ ꯁꯦꯟꯇꯦꯟꯁꯀ ꯇꯔꯨꯛ ꯇꯔꯦꯠꯀ ꯁꯨꯔꯛꯄꯗꯣ
ꯁꯥꯡꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ ꯁꯥꯡꯗꯣꯏꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯁꯥꯡꯉꯛꯑꯒꯁꯨ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯦꯛꯇꯤꯁ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯄꯣꯜꯂꯦꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯁꯥꯡꯉꯛꯄ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯚꯣꯂꯨꯝ ꯆꯥꯎꯔꯛꯄ ꯑꯗꯩ ꯏꯟꯇꯔꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯇꯦꯁꯟꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯃꯛꯄꯒꯤꯅꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯤꯗ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯈꯔ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯉꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯈꯔ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯁꯣꯜቭ ꯇꯧꯈꯤꯁꯤ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯁꯦ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯁꯤ ꯁꯤ ꯎꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯨ ꯃꯤꯁꯂꯦꯅꯤꯌꯁ ꯎꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯨ ꯃꯤꯁꯂꯦꯅꯤꯌꯁ ꯑꯅ ꯃꯤꯁꯂꯦꯅꯤꯌꯁꯀꯤ ꯀꯣꯏꯁꯟ ꯈꯔ ꯎꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ 100 ꯀꯣꯏꯁꯟ ꯑꯅ ꯑꯩꯁꯤ ꯊꯝꯃꯤꯁꯤ ꯎꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯁꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯃꯨꯠ ꯆꯦꯟꯖ ꯇꯧꯁꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯑꯁꯥꯡꯕꯁꯨ ꯇꯧꯁꯤ ꯃꯈꯜ ꯇꯧꯁꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯆꯥꯃꯗ ꯁꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯣ ꯃꯣꯅꯣꯇꯣꯅꯁ ꯑꯣꯏꯌꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ let's solve the questions ꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯤꯠ ꯇꯥꯟꯅꯁꯤꯀꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯊꯨꯅ ꯁꯣꯜቭ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯁꯦ 1 2 ꯁꯤꯗ ꯁꯦ our team's performance ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯣꯔꯇꯤꯡ ꯑꯦꯔꯔꯁꯅꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯄꯣꯔꯇꯤꯡ ꯑꯦꯔꯔ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯦꯅꯤ ꯑꯦꯛꯖꯥꯝꯗ ꯍꯪꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯅꯤꯅ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯤ ꯁꯣꯜቭ ꯇꯧꯊꯣꯛꯁꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯊꯨꯅ ꯁꯣꯜቭ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤꯀോ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯨꯏꯅ ꯆꯪꯕꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ our team's performance in the last few domestic and international games is fairly ordinary and below our stature. You do one thing, you solve, say, let's solve the questions one after another. Matang solve tawseba. 1 to 10 asana taw yenge kyam chumge yenge 1 to 10. Please solve first 10 questions by yourself. In a given time, say at a maximum 3 minutes, 3 minutes a 3 minutes. Three minutes. Yam thunu khotpadune aina pamidi tamna khotpai di kanade speed ti matter am tawe exam di ko real exam phamduri mina Barbara. Question tara buktani first 10 question only. Udri bro. Check torsi arabo. Verbo. Jensen verbo.
Loiredo chumbra lanbra di khangde sir.
Sir, yengase.
Yengase. First sentence kai lali. C da. I think error detection habisi any format piram gera. Question ani ni p gera, single p gera, double p gera. Samjanan gera. Adi grammar gi functionalities to the sida khangye ba. Kamana improvement hanga sungare grammar di khang dabdi yaro dana tangai padana adana si hai shumme koi gi team gi performance how ki ba domestic and international games singda ordinary oire magi syntax ko ordinary oire ada akoi leiri ba koi gi leiri ba status stop adu gi makha leire sini aduna tari is fairly ordinary has been fairly ordinary. See the lale. Question number 2. I don't.
B sir.
They have fairly standard accounting procedures that are on the line with the international accepted norms. B the OBAD. See the preposition the lale se kamai lange. They have fairly having the fair have the karikai. Fairly is the adverb ni standard adana kasi capability adana this is the on the line have in the line in the line on sagi on gi in the replace to godamne adani go question number 3 sisma am lai
C.
nearby habadu madu unnecessary ni si matang sida ko nearby do madu lokthok kana de you know haida mana ama hai negotiate the actors negotiating new merchandise launches at nearby is just superfluous. Question number 4, another easy question.
A
is correct. The company directors have been made. Company is company के director सिंह बुना करे है बने company के director सिंह ना commercial bank सिंह के मकोक थोंग बसिंग उनरे हाई बसिदा company director singbu na adversity that it's definitely wrong. So bindro fokro. Question number 5.
C.
C is correct. Now let's see the sentence in the very first case. It's a progressive sentence. Again, Indian scientists are making waves. Present continuously is through the world. Their ideas and inventions are yielding. Are yelled at. At the continuity to Ivataba. Indian scientists sing na Prithvi Mapam Kudimakta wave ma Makoigi wave si piri. Makoigi ideas sing inventions sing na at the Kari over income da employment da Hana Toki Magi growth to the piri sinem produce to name. Then question number 6.
C.
Arrow.
C.
The petrol prices had already been increased twice in the last 15 months, and Ministry of Petrol had also levied additional monthly charges. Levied ki matung di on la withdraw. Levied is followed by levied ki matung takpa magi proportion si on la kani.
Last 15 months ka higher sir. 15 time damnina.
15 I mean maduna printing error had yawniko. Aduna printing error or 15 I target obviously the last 15 months high get the money. Okay. 7 from light.
A.
Despite the mother of day, never. Question number 8.
D.
Aina quite think of the me Kakatana Namakumisi, not opposite came to involve to you know. Offline the tag hung at the money. If you know, if say, if I have the privilege to take your class offline, you come to know how I take you on. Anyway, this is the DH to make politicians sing having a subject shape, politicians sing do many B their financial details had a Makoigi financial details sing the Makoigi property sing have him higher than his property have pronoun the pronoun error. Then again, question number 9. It's a nice question.
C.
C is definitely correct. It's a question of it's a question of subject and verb relation or subject and verb agreement. The construction of stadium do sabagi magi construction do madu within the next 2 years sahi ani manungda madu function tawgadaba magi stadiums masig investments kaya darga lege 100 crore darga lay having a requires higher subject to construction to the second subject to construction is machine TV construction is abstract thing and it should be taken singular subject as it is being taken as in a collective as a whole. Then we have next question number 10.
A.
We have taken on the responsibility of arranging the required material and assembling the machine. Machine the spelling like spelling the katang yeng the batare like the machine the amalang money. Haro
A.
Preparation only there is no I would say compulsion or there is no much inevitable connecting the main verb and the rest. Conjunction question number 11 let's proceed on 11. Yes, witness a young boy's ability to solve the difficult questions. His mathematics teacher pushed him to participate in the All India Mathematics mathematics Olympiad ให้
11 गी A
A
A
witness witnessing and ให้กันนี่ก็my question syntax to question number 12 it is all well known that children are generally in favor of light topics like jokes
D
yes that should be D the reason being causing have a cause ให้กันนี่ยายก็ question number 13
B
A B C D E
B
modal verb के मतुंग द कई दुंगा द verb ते infinitive भी यादे gerund follow तो भी यादे अदना B दो रमनी the evening breeze won't carry the poetry carrying है भी यारोई को then next question number say 14
A.
A is correct we are bring है भी यारोई नहीं अदना brought hydro we are brought. Then next question 15 I don't question number 15
E
C.
yes हम तो लाने का लेते यानी को if students are able to realize the potential that they possess मकोई यार मकोई potential तो मकोई ना realize तो बंग मगदी next challenge दी करना मतलब दा मधु दी करना मतलब सही productive होगा avenues ता है बदी काना बमोंग दा मधु पुथोक पुदुर मधु की next challenge ने शिने में question number 16
B
B is definitely correct. Saigi on the time have you not go at the time. Preposition on to add on top bro. Question number 17.
D
D. Saigi mana next haraga. Next to hydro heritage structures. Preposition 2 is missing again. Question number 18.
C
D
Question number 18. C.
C
C
C. The he said that Manaiki, the performance of the Indian athletes was satisfactory at the Asian Games. Manaiki, India about athletes in Asian Games that yamna satisfactory and that they learn a lot. Makoina, days kana nong sagi athletes ma'am do bani. Makoina tamki kayama kanada tamino from watching top-seeded players through action at the Grand Slam. I think I guess the say players through action. Players in action. Through players and through action. Cool. I think I watching top-seeded players in action. Scenario players in do. But the game na kaya amrum. So answer is D. 19. Watching the exponential talent of world cricket was the best things to happen to him.
C
C.
Superlative degree that they are plural from the IBA. Question number 20. The meeting of the board of directors took place a week after the company held a meeting with project financiers to evaluate funds that being needed to ensure that the project is not halted. Very easy.
D. not halted. D.
C.
Hello.
B.
This is the meeting the board of directors na meeting of board of directors took place a week after the company held a meeting. Company na magi project financiers in meeting tawr matungda board tawgra that to evaluate the report to evaluate funds that being needed. This is the asoiba katang lady ko asoiba kano that being needed have a dot that are being needed to ensure that the project is not halted. And makata ko as it is single present the e base sisma kona khanarasi habadi basi question amda ani lamadi yadidana ko adana first as it is mana first ki magi tensu as it is past ere second part as it is past ere makata sun past bam thoe adana that's I mean this sentence should not be taken into consideration because there are two errors. 21
D.
Then 22 farmers who grow the crop are the worst hit as the
B.
investment they make on a crop as huge as compared to the profit. 22
B.
B is correct. And 23
A.
A is correct. The school has met it is the school is met in the tabak school met kari same loire hi dena perfectly get 24 muna kalu ko sizo
B.
B
C.
C okay Yarba. First of all, what is the subject here? While these organizations have a strong traditional hold, the reasons for forming a consortium in Asia is to increase cultural diversity for their organization, for these organizations. Mamangi pronoun do, I see mamangi pronoun do, when their kana their obviously degi degi possessive case that their laksebuani simatang the their have yaroiba. Mamang it was there these organizations have na pangiba mai mamangi paliba pronoun do adu matungina when adum as it is these hagane. So the answer lies here D. Next we have the government soon will make it mandatory for all private schools to notify infections cases as soon as they are detected.
C.
No.
A.
A is correct. You're right. Smile the tendency the government soon will make it. The subject to give mamang da a subject matung da adverb to direct thamba soon it's an adverb of time. Adverb of time to thamba yaroi. The government will soon make it high another soon sentence soon the government will make it mandatory. Here a positive sentence to soon then it becomes right. 26
Infections cases and high sir.
Kashu kai bilate dudi.
Asigi infection cases.
Dudi kashu kai bilate. Infection mayam singing cases have been kashu kai bilate to notify infections cases. Infection as it is. Infections can be counted in terms of its variations. Common infection dawi infection as it is the countable ni countable ne di infect report ta kano body part ta upper body part lower body part mid ta kaida amada no adu di kashu kai be leite ba ada pulap pun infection cases hai ba di compounded over now ni usina ba kari kai ge sine ba kul kan kai be leite ba yarbo aduna problem si kaino pa ba matam da sungai the government soon will make habits pa but somewhere like adverb to na subject ka thangna na ibri si matang yaroi ba duna ni ko 26 kitang ni the judge advised the government to have meter taxis across the state while recounting his personal experience where a taxi driver made him to wait and also demanded rupees 100. See, I'm lying.
D.
D is correct. Why? Make. Make ki matung tak. There are certain verbs. Make. Semba. Late. L-E-T. Late. Kanam uhinba. Yahanba. Then bait. B-A-D-E. Bait. See what ahum si matung tak. Wada ko na infinitive to iba. So yadi. Never. Aduna ni sila to wet able do. That's out of the box. Again, well, let's continue. 27. The firm aims to nearly double its revenues on the back of a strongest product pipeline. Did I'm lying, Kali?
D sorry ka
D. Strongest ki
Strongest ki mo ang article data pa na dukhaleba. Taseng bagay di line made the lali ni. Adu matang da sentence munna para kanda so pala digri ida wona teva. Kaya naman tandang sa magi the firm aims to nearly double its revenue to double on the back of a stronger product pipeline. Adi hen a papa product ama hagatam ne. Kantara bo. Mayam the quite hen a papa product ne happen at them. Finding is form everything as I when aim to report another revenue to him. Farms even Sigi farms is spelling lalangani. FIRM firm to the jet padunistic spelling lala. 28. In a first of its kind study, a team of researchers have tried to grow new stem cells in the ear that gets damaged with age. I think it's a nice question. 28. Nice question.
B.
B, that's the right answer. A team of researchers, we talk about a team. In a team, there may be 50 or more than 100, we don't know, but it refers to one team, a team. A team of researchers has tried, I don't know. 29. If successful, the research could pave the way would lead the way towards the prevention in untimely death due to fatal diseases. 29. Easy one.
C.
C is correct. You know?
When the prevention of.
Jagada with the prevention always from like prevent from cold, suffer from illness, beware of bad company. Hydro. Appropriate prepositions go in. These are the phrases which should be fixed. Often they go prevention from, prohibit from. But series of my conjunction of preparation from like prevent from, refrain from, abstain from. All right, let's continue. Question number 30. After a complaint was filed, the police teams was given the photograph of the accused from the CCTV footage recorded at the hotel.
B.
B, all right. Okay, you know.
Was team, the police team was.
So that's why hiding this again. Police have the plural noun ni police. Cattle. Sasan cattle hai. Vermin. Here we go. Then say poultry. People. moise plural noun ngata ni peasantry plural noun ngata ne adana hairiba plural noun di plural verb follow tawni haigadam here we go then let's continue guys 31 on a second day of the competition, contestants does a situational analysis of the state and spoke about a plan of action for implementing the egg.
B.
B is correct. Lal is it no?
Does to or did.
Yes. Pass 32. Paro. Did you I want quick answer.
C.
C. No, it can't be C, my dear.
D.
D. On an average of 6 months, hydrodro. See the praise ni no. On an average is definitely a phrase. In an average, have the yadi. Question number 33. A new research has shown that kids who have a high body mass index are more likely to have high blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood insulin levels by the time they reach adolescence.
C.
C is
C.
correct. You know,
Double comparative learning.
double comparative. Adu natin lale si double comparative ni ure ba likelier have city si matang sa lale ba si likely to have likely is no possibly have ni kasi nung tabi it's likely to rain likely anta ba more likely to have har kanema ko hena moisi possible am wang isine 34 the consumer forum directed the mobile company to compensate a complainant for the inconvenience and mental agony who had to suffer because of their support staff's irresponsible attitude. 34. I think it's easy one.
C.
That's correct. You know,
Who has a mental agony?
Amen. I don't mean it doesn't refer to a person individually. So let's say which, not who. 35. People whose performance peaks in the morning are better positioned for career success because they are more proactive than people who are at theirs in the evening. CNC yam phazaponi ko adi morning the proactive kangbu oiba kangbu ma evening the oiba kangbu khena bagi matang ma haning is 35.
E.
A.
B.
And A di oiba yare ko. Oiba have people whose performance is definitely a singular noun followed by singular verb. Picks high adilan manati. Atopadi yarba.
B.
B are better position. Position should be used as a main verb. Position to the edit absolute. Are better position haidana. Kangani ko pesipti gidam. 36. The economic structure of slum areas is such that children, especially girls, are required to help in the household work and also perform their chores. 36.
D.
D. Jumme. Kaya no?
Also to perform.
Ako. 36 ta. But not only lakta but also lakane. Adu na lies. There have there game mahotane. Other na hairobo. other source and high. Here we go. 37, very easy question.
B.
B is correct. CD am lai nak na ba subject matung na magi verb to follow to. Here we go. Then again, we have next question 38. Even after so much years, how can we say much years? Adum lalamani. Then 39. 39. Yes. Haro 39 Haro. Whether or not to convict them for their role in a robbery is a decision which is yet to take. Haro.
D.
Yes, correct. Yet to be taken. 40. According to government estimates, at least 4 million tons of sugar will have to be imported this year because of a poor monsoon. 40.
A.
A is correct. Minus that estimates and hybrido. Madu, I think it's like S the as a noun in Sinaduni. Estimate abasi, verb noun in Sinatadi S according to government estimate. 41. China is the world leader manufacturer of the environment-friendly products such as electric cars and bicycles.
B.
Very easy. Arrow.
B.
B. World's
B.
leading manufacturer. Noun and the manufacturer is the verb. 42. Over 90% from us feel that if government had taken some corrective measures earlier, the epidemic could have been averted. Avert to topadi. I did Taidok Padubani. Avert Taidok Pani. This is 42.
A.
Is correct. Is correct. Aside mana 43 Maharo. With the mortality rates in this region as high as 70%, we need to encourage the local people to build hospitals.
A.
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 We don't need to specify, we don't need to write down in plural sense. With the mortality rates, yes, the people talk that with the mortality rate. Yeah, record 44. 44, what is that? An economy relies on access to dependable and affordable sources of energy.
B.
Arrow. An economy relies on access to dependable and affordable sources of energy. Affordable sources affordable source no affordable sources of energy sources के energy mark blank sentence to energy is noun the proportion such a situation is neither feasible nor desirable in democratic country like ours. Very easy. Arrow.
D.
D haba. Such a situation is neither feasible but another chumber lambre FEASI we talk through. The land it should be B.
In a democratic country like
Ha. in a democratic
In a democratic.
in a democratic country, in democratic country like ours. Sida koi democratic country ekhoigi democratic oba country ama da na high gramina sa a desu mana samjangre ekhoigi na high gramina adu one da 46 if all goes well the examination schedule for next week is all set to be completely free from annexes, power cuts and disruptions. I don't 46
D.
Form the printing mistake oidora.
Oh.
if all goes well, I go. The examination schedule for the for next. See, this is the article. If all goes well, the examination schedule for the next week. I can mana specific one. Next week, the exam if all goes well, the examination schedule for the next week is all set to be completely free from annexes, power cuts, and disruptions. So answer should be B. 47 aggression in some teenage boys may be linked to overly large gland in their brains, a new study has found.
B.
Linkage it should be link syntax to get the link and linkage 48 what it is the actor believes in being fit and feels that there are too much hype around size 0 in the entertainment world.
C.
Okay.
There is too much hype.
There is too much hype. That's correct. Verb the laliko. 49. With this initiative, the government hopes to assure the public that it is confident of providing good service and renewing their faith with the public transport system. Sisu kitang live ran khali.
C.
C. Tay D. Aying B. Iro. Daranda. Sonia. I think where we had more than 20. Sai mi kun en pham manu jing muk. Left on there. I don't know. I don't.
They are confident.
Sida akhoi. Kangrabo.
E
No. E will be arroy. Faith I will see matung tak always followed by in lakani. Renewing their faith in the public transport system. Faith with faith is followed by preposition in. Question number 50. Seema along with her friends are watching movie at a cinema hall near her office. Rule
Sir, Hojiki 49 gido. It is having that they are confident of providing and have.
Confident of meaning of talk to
confident of
confident in providing confident.
No. Confident of prepositional phrase ni. I have a prepositional phrase matung taraf zirin you have. I'm confident of delivering my lecture on a stage. I'm confident of teaching at the university. So I'm confident of rendering lecture at a conference. Hi Biani. What do you can guide you? Sagi hangibu question sida sigi
sentence hadi mamang it is hanam suyaw itana. government high oibanina it's
recheck with this initiative, the government hopes to show the public government assure can assure to public it is confident of providing it's confident of providing good service. Government government embassy government say government embassy inanimate thing focus to it is confident of providing good service. Government see when in terms of subjecting targeting is government singular or plural? Subject whatever government is singular or plural adana matang shida man it second government dubini man shida hiding is. And moreover, confident of kimatung tarakpada confident of ibudri karim te kaide. There is a rule for this. Here I go. Somebody sent message. Guidal Kamshan Sergi mi kanamta sanglak trine class tarkan. Anyway, makatasi se sigi 50 se 50 da lepsira aduga 50 da 50 se kari hairage answer do
B
B ni chumi ni subject ani tashanam tamda Sima along with her friends I taragri Sima ga ma ki marup singa lona na obviously B userani Sima and her friends have adum is this sumduini Sima along with her friends is an name natra 51 si whole tor thamo I believe 51 sima whole tor thamaga maybe hayeng ito we ay ko sima duga kasi class pung ani makai den pung kya bong no
440
let's say hold it for a moment and switch on to close test adi prekhatang poramani ko close test tawse ko adanga si close test tawdingai sidang tang ai moi des change to hange ai atang ai ko Urabra. Anh bu uraba. Screen the uraba ba.
Oresha.
Close this yung. See the compulsory them hanging ko. Other close this say. Koina kamina solve to go the have to the. Basically, just a matter of reading skill ni. The reading skill have the kamina pagi kamina Paba matamda kari haina khangi habaduni. You know, it's not a new thing. And we're simply filling up the blanks by understanding, say, the concept, which is being reflected in the passage. There were major controversies. One bling is like just I some parake parakanda mana hiding a poto carino do I do harake hana actor answer gi hana the young bear ponte come see the neom curly neom the first playing second playing to first playing the sentence ID full stop amada sentence amada blank amalembe adraga full stop amada ID pusum nam ding mamangda sentence har sangna blank ani piramwe adu ai blank kudimak to first blank ata khalunu sentence ek left bukti artha tam tan khanga kanda mention hona ga damane adana yengo sige ai parke kali hai. There were major controversies clearly. The date and burial of most of the great French Enlightenment figures. Rousseau was an exception because as a Protestant, he could not be buried in sacred ground. The French Revolution, the French revolutionary thinker, I would tell you, Rousseau, Masumani, the mana. Controversy death and burial of most of the great, say, French Enlightenment figures. Rousseau was an exception. As a Protestant, he cannot be buried in sacred ground. A quick buried to sacred yamna holy ba jaga da barit to baje masi ma yaning de sidai mana tori da bani habi kanchem lai ko. The greatest and most notorious of these controversies swirl the death and burial of Voltaire. Voltaire is again a great philosopher or a sort of a thinker in those times. And there were two related issues. First, did he on his deathbed take last rites and recant his views? And if so, did he do this because he finally understood that to die outside the church was to die in misery, or because he was somehow tricked into conformity, the treat of having his body excluded from proper burial? The second issue had to be with his body. Assuming, as the local priest testified, that he had not properly taken last rites, what should be done with his body? The church of course would have excluded him from proper burial. His friends, who vehemently that Voltaire had back off of any of his anti-clerical views, or that he had died, that the date of an atheist sought ways to have and interred in consecrated ground, ecclesiastical opposition. They managed to twist his body of a monastic single belief single belief burial ground to which his nephew had connections, and the authorities decided not to push the issue further. Sida mana masagi concept se karino na koina munna yeng matamda sida kana bono kana kari da mokta na mon issue mo tholeje
that burial of the great French figure.
Kanayo
That and burial of the most of the great French Enlightenment figures.
I think me wakalona jang bani kari da mokta no Rousseau suma's exception as a Protestant no mana he cannot be buried even Maz sacred ground that Maz buried Voltaire batang Voltaire the dead and burial of Voltaire sꯤꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯇꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯁꯤꯗꯩꯁꯤꯗ the greatest and the most notorious of these controversies swirl 하이버디 웅어가 레이브두니 거 say the death and burial of Voltaire ꯑꯗꯨ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ Voltaire ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ notorious ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ controversy ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯁꯤꯗ ꯏꯁꯨ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯦ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕ ꯏꯁꯨꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣ ꯑꯅꯤꯁꯨꯕ ꯏꯁꯨꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣꯅ ꯄꯜꯂꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ the whole crux is about what the controversies of burying dead body of those great say French thinkers ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤ ꯊꯣꯏꯗꯣꯛꯅ ꯑꯔꯨꯕ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯦꯟꯇꯦꯟꯁꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯏꯟꯅ ꯃꯦꯟꯁꯤꯟꯕ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯤ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯣ ꯅꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯥꯏ ꯇꯧꯔꯣ ꯀꯌꯥꯝ ꯆꯨꯝꯒꯦ ꯌꯦꯡꯒꯦ ꯉꯥꯏꯈꯣꯀꯣ 5 ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯄꯤꯛꯁꯤꯟꯗ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ 5 ꯇꯪ ꯇꯧ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯃꯈꯥꯗꯁꯨ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯄꯤꯛꯁꯟꯒꯦ please wait ꯑꯁ ꯌꯥꯗꯦꯀꯣ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯊꯝꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯐꯨꯜ ꯁ꯭ꯀ꯭ꯔꯤꯟ ꯊꯝꯃꯒꯦ ꯇꯧꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯁꯤ ꯃꯦꯛ ꯄꯤꯛꯄ꯭ꯔꯣ ꯁꯤꯕꯣ 100 ꯊꯝꯕꯗꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯗ꯭ꯔꯦꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯀ꯭ꯔꯤꯟꯗꯣ ꯆꯥꯎꯅ ꯎꯅꯅꯕ ꯇꯧꯕꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯔꯕ ꯁꯤ
ꯌꯥꯔꯦ
ꯌꯥꯔꯦ
ꯌꯥꯔꯦ ꯇꯧꯔꯣ ꯆꯥꯅꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯗꯇꯣ ꯃꯦꯟꯁꯤꯟꯕ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯤ ꯊꯤꯔꯣ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯊꯣꯏꯗꯣꯛꯄ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯩꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯂꯨꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯑꯣꯞꯁꯟꯗ ꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤꯗꯗꯤ prepositionꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯌꯥꯎꯏ ꯀꯣ option number 2 ꯁꯨ 3 ꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ 4 ꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯎꯏ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨ anyway you can try ꯇꯧꯔꯦꯡꯒꯦ
Sir, one surrounding.
ꯄꯨꯔꯥ ꯃꯦꯟꯁꯤꯜꯂꯛꯑꯣꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ 1 to 10ꯗꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯑꯣꯡꯗ ꯃꯦꯟꯁꯤꯜꯂꯛꯑꯣꯕ ꯀꯌꯥꯝ ꯆꯨꯝꯒꯦ ꯄꯨꯂꯞꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯁꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯁꯤ ꯈꯔꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯈꯤꯁꯤ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯌꯦꯡꯒ ꯍꯪꯆꯤꯠꯀꯁꯨ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯈꯔ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯇꯧꯈꯤꯁꯤ Check terus ya, Arbu. Yung kan mark si mark ako'y tara nagsu manga thangja ko answer se announce to yarbo
Oi, sir.
yengazine kam chumge yengazine question number 1 I question number 1 means first playing to surrounding
Surrounding.
chumme question number 2
Around.
around is chumme correct third
Into.
into is correct 4
By.
by chumme by chumme ko 5
Denied.
Denied.
denied chumme 6
Agonizing.
agonizing sound ni ko ade harassment to boom the connect to word then 7
In.
chumme 8
Despite.
correct 9
At
In.
in and 10
ꯊꯦꯡꯒꯤꯁꯦ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯡ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯁꯤ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯩꯇ꯭ꯔꯦ
concerning gender.
ꯀꯟꯁꯔꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯆꯨꯝꯗꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯁꯦ ꯐꯥꯔꯁ ꯑꯣꯞꯁꯟ ꯑꯍꯨꯝꯁꯦ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯡ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ
meaning zero adi
ꯑꯥ
kanonida mokoi ngasai moi issue du moina amaga moi mare yenare ko adi mare yena badi issue chauthoyeba tada kai haitare mokoi ji ngasai gi church tana kari khan church ki su koigi mokoi gi su apamba lerangani adagi church na zo tongan ba church ki tradition am lerangani sacred place ta buried to ko pan lerangani adang sai thing sir mayam du ko lon zo mai lere do si asida ecclesiastical haidadi ecclesiastical hai targadi kano abda church tradition happens di church amada mokoina haidi church ki magi niti niyam amada channabado ecclesiastical haiba my event and cost suitable tradition in a church have a name church to talk about name adana sentence last sentence ya concern have morta ecclesiastic or ecclesiastizing or the home ji khan da se home ji khan taraga di karmak chungani a b c e chumani ba maram di authorities have the noun ni dena ko ada adjective mo sinane ba adana e chumani sini sumai ta dana sigi kano sigi akoi gi haibadi sigi kano je close stage se sisu akoina negate to we de adum darga lei haibadi su jam tangai phata pona mani adana sumai to se makha taba 11 to 20 matam nangre ho nangdoi tari to se ko yes you know, buying a house is a big decision and it needs to be financially can you solve them in a very short span of time I'm going to haro hojik toksira ai kaise kaide ada hayeng toksira haro
ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯔꯁꯤ
kaise kaide adana yum am leiba se kano yam chawb decision ne na hara big decision and you need to be financially obviously financially sound kamaina laidino I don't need to read I paro ege you go through it paro karino ma hining ise adu matung tarakpada sai 11 to 20 ja nasagi on logic ta analysis ta pajana blanks in menjalo and let's solve at say 440 I'll give you 7 minutes sorry ngakhtang khang lore ko wa bu ni waram se ju wara ga su ha yengo ba sana 7 minutes 8 minutes
हो गया Sir, yeng.
Yabo.
Sir, sec.
Okay. Atau hainaro. Yaraba check torsi.
Yani, sir.
ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯥ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯂꯨꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯝꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯤꯀꯣ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯂꯨꯔꯝꯒꯅꯤ anyway 11 ꯒꯤ blanks ꯀꯩ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯤ n that's b stands beta okay question number 12 determine a correct 13 any that's b stands beta 14 u 15 once 16
First.
foremost quite a then 17
Lower.
17 should be
Balancing.
healthy, let's say healthy. Then 18
With.
which correct 19
That.
This.
20 higher catch me out of 10
9 chum.
9 chumme ya mai re yung adwai to na 9 chumme jaw tay di
7.
7 okay
7.
okay sumai tawsi haying class na ne haibidi exam syllabus say single filler gi double filler tawsi hai single filler tawsi hai aduga ngasai gi kano se closest ma khat tawsi ko adigi passage para solve tawuduma su tawdri mane hadi passage kamai pagadage adu so haying tawsi adi yani makai di kano we should do as much as we can ngamingai tawse ko habadi passage pabani khangde close test tawani khangde parajumble ni khangde error detection ni khangde tawse yare ko okay thank you so much for attendance I'll see you tomorrow
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome
Thank
you're welcome
you, sir.
welcome I'll see you tomorrow